Checking out a new Bestech model in Magnacut steel, and they are actually running it 62 to 63. At least that's what their site says, which is I'm happy about. That's good. You know, we prefer to see 63, 64 on a pocket knife, especially something like this, but 62, 63 is at least going in the right range, you know, and I don't think there's really anything wrong with 62, you know, but it's just, you know, what's nice to get on a premium folding pocket knife, you know, because when we think premium, we usually expect, you know, the premium steel, heat treated to an optimal range, so on and so on. And being a pocket knife, you're looking for edge retention in most cases. Sharpness, edge retention, keen edges, ease of sharpening, things like that. And having a well heat treated high HRC steel adds to all of that. Not only does it become easier to sharpen because it's easier to remove the burr, less frustrations, the wear resistance might be a slightly higher, so it might take you, you know, a minute longer to sharpen, but the edges come out so much cleaner and better. Beautiful stone wash on this blade, and I like this swedge. It is a trailing recurve, so it's a recurved trailing point. There's not a lot of trail to it, but it definitely does trail up. Now, because it has this recurve where it kind of dips back down and then back up, it actually allows you to get to the tip fairly well because the handle also cants down like that. So it's almost a straight shot. It's almost like using a straight back in a way. Now, the recurve should benefit you a little bit in slicing. It's not a very big recurve. It's mostly for looks, but I have to imagine that as long as you're choked up staying right here in this area, it's going to be pretty easy to stay in that area for cuts, but once you get to here, it will slip out of the cut. So that's, you know, the issue with big bellies and slicing, but the recurve should help with that. The handle, titanium frame lock. And then check this out, we have a ceramic, this side, we have a ceramic ball in the pivot, and the pivot is milled out kind of like a flower, carbon fiber, shred carbon fiber inlay on both sides. We have a titanium back spacer that also has 3 ceramic balls in there. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. It's definitely different. Then we have a titanium milled pocket clip, and I like that it's nice and long because that does allow it to have a little bit more spring to it. It's still a little tight, could use a little more spring, but it works well. And normally I don't prefer clips to be on the spine like this, but it's not all the way up to the spine. Usually I want them at least centered because your hand wraps around right there. This one's not too bad because it is a little bit lower than the spine, and they got this chamfer running down both sides of the knife. So it's actually pretty comfortable. Yes, I do feel the clip, but you know, it's still comfortable enough to use fairly long term. The jimping, very good jimping. I actually like this type of jimping. This is, you know, some of my favorite kind of jimping. Maybe not my absolute favorite, but it's good jimping for sure. Phenomenal access to the lock bar, and I love how they milled out these lines, which basically adds texture, so when you disengage it's grippy and you don't slip off of it. So the flipper tab does have jimping on it. It doesn't go all the way out to the corner, but the jimping actually does have some good traction, and the flipper tab kind of sweeps up like this, so your finger kind of lays into like a pocket. You can also use the corner of it, which is not bad at all. It has a nice strong detent, and it flies out there with authority. Trying to fail it. Yeah, it's not easy to fail. I can fail it, I'm sure, if I cheat, but that doesn't really count. It's great. Yeah, phenomenal flipping action. Internal stop pins, which I'm always happy to see. That's my favorite way to see a stop pin. And, you know, it looks like it has good lock face geometry. It is rock solid. I have already spine whacked it, and it passed with flying colors. But yeah, I always like to see a internal stop pin. It can help with side-to-side stability. And, you know, I can tell it's riding on bearings. Very, very smooth on the drop. Somewhat of a heavier, forward heavy blade, so I imagine this thing is going to get redonkulously smooth eventually. Yeah, this thing's going, ooh, yeah, already, man. This thing's gonna break in very nicely. One thing about this blade shape, if you do want to preserve this recurve or make it more pronounced, you are going to need thin stones, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch stones. You can use the corner of some stones, you know, just depending on the kind of stone it is, but you will need a slim stone to do this recurve. Otherwise, you know, it won't work. You know, the rest of the edge from here to here doesn't really matter. It's just right here in this area, making sure you can get in that little dip. Like I said, you can probably use the corner of a stone in a lot of cases. You know, good sharpeners tend to improvise and do just fine. I know I've improvised a million times and have done just fine. But yeah, it's not there. No recurve is hard to sharpen. You just need the right size stone or the right thickness stone. But something like this will be just fine with also a rod. If you have ceramic rods, diamond rods, things like that, you know, that'd probably be the most optimal. But, you know, I don't know. I could probably do it with a regular flat stone. Somewhat of a robust spine in a way, you know, but it does get down to a nice thin tip, you know, for piercing. And then the edge, you know, it's got somewhat of a high edge angle, but they did do a good job with the sharpening. I can tell they removed the burr very well. They didn't over polish it. It has a lot of bite, especially for a high angle edge. I prefer a lower angle edge, but you know, it's decently thin behind the edge for what you're getting. Inside has no milling, but that's because it has the carbon fiber right here. So there's not very much space to mill out. They could have milled out, you know, some spots, but I guess not really, because this has this chamfer. Then we have the carbon fiber, which will bring down the weight significantly. Carbon fiber weighs almost nothing, and to take out titanium and replace it with carbon fiber definitely brings down the weight. Like I said, you know, this thing does have like a little bit of a forward sitting feel to it, which will help you with cutting, especially with this recurve. It's not going to be one you're really going to want to cut backwards. You could in a pinch. Utility cuts are going to be okay considering the blade shape, because usually these blade shapes are horrible at utility cuts. But all in all, man, it is very well done. You know, I'm personally not the biggest fan of trailing points. I don't mind clip point trailing points as long as they're done a certain way. But this one's pretty cool. It's not bad. And if you are into trailing points, especially premium ones, this might be the one for you. You can get a lot of control with this belly, you know, for skinning and things like that. Not that I see anybody skinning with this or doing anything like that, but a lot of people like a good trailing point because it does have an aggressive look to it. They can be really good for self-defense and things like that. Sharp control and plunge grind is decent. Yeah, plunge grind starts here and ends about right there. So good job there. All in all, you know, yeah, it's a quality knife. They did a great job on it. And like I said, I am happy to see them raising the HRC, because I believe the last time I checked on their HRC for Magnacut, it was like 59 to 60 or something like that. But, you know, don't quote me. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's what it was. Either way, 62 to 63, happy to see it, you know, on something like this. So good job, Bestech. And yeah, I will link these down in the description. There is a couple other available, and I'm actually kind of confused by a couple of them, because there's a Damascus there's a Damascus inlay version with a Damascus blade. Then I seen a Damascus bladed version with Damasteel inlay. The reason why it confuses me is because the Damasteel one is more money than the Damascus one. Now, what I'm also confused about is they just say the steel's Damascus. What kind of Damascus? That doesn't make sense. I hate when companies do that, and I'm surprised like Blade HQ and other companies are not catching that, because Damascus is just referring to a process. It's not referring to what it is. You know, it's basically saying it's a blend, right? A blend of what? So, you know, I don't know exactly what it is. I'm guessing it's something decent. Hopefully it is Damasteel and not just Damascus. That's what I'm guessing it is, because the price is so high, especially on the Damasteel version. And it looks really cool. But usually, or at least I thought, Damascus was more money than Damasteel. So, you know, I would expect that one to be more money than the Damasteel one. But, you know, hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But they do have those. They are pretty high priced for the super premium ones. This one's already premium enough. I'm sure this will be the one that'll probably appeal to the majority. But there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.